Detroit Lions fans, it is time to embrace that this could be a year that we do more than we expected to do. The Lions come out of a nail-biting shootout with the Los Angeles Chargers and moved to 7-2 on the season. Just this time last year, we were 3-6, I believe. We were gearing up for that matchup. I think we were playing either the Bears or the Packers. We got that W, and then we went on Thanksgiving to host the Buffalo Bills. And instead of going to 5-6, we went to 4-7. What a difference a year makes. And some would say that we're ahead of schedule. Dan Campbell might even say we're ahead of schedule. I don't think he believes that. I think he says the right things at the right time. He's a coach. You have coach speak. But it was something that if you just sit back and you think about, this is not new information, but I thought it was kind of cool that Albert Breer brought this out yesterday. Check out this. This was a post that he made yesterday after the Lions game. Said 10 weeks in, there are 3 teams left with 2 or fewer losses. The teams that were in the Super Bowl last year and the Detroit Lions. I want you to think about that. The 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl, the Philadelphia and the Kansas City Chiefs. Philadelphia Eagles are 8-1. Kansas City Chiefs are 7-2. And the Detroit Lions are 7-2 as well. And if you look at one of the losses to the Super Bowl champion was from our Detroit Lions. Right? So you're talking about, and right now, the 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl are the 2 teams that are atop their conference. Check this out. The Detroit Lions are not only second in the NFC. That's how big yesterday's game was because the Seattle Seahawks won as well. So they're not only second in the NFC, they're second in the NFL. It is the Philadelphia Eagles, and then it is the Detroit Lions. You take away the bad kind of play calling in the Seattle game near the end, the clock management, which is kind of funny because Dan Campbell did something very similar yesterday. Yesterday, he had some coaching down the stretch that was very similar, but this time it paid off. When we were going into the season, a lot of analysts had the Detroit Lions picking 29-30, meaning that we make it to the NFC title game and we lose that game, a game before the Super Bowl. We've been there before. Over 30 years ago, we've been there before. So my thing is this. Why should we settle? Why shouldn't we buy into this? The Detroit Lions are right underneath the Philadelphia Eagles and have a chance to overtake their position coming out of the bye week for the Philadelphia Eagles. We could go into the month of December facing the New Orleans Saints with a 9-2 record. Now, I'm not overlooking the Bears. I'm not overlooking the Packers. We should be able to beat them. There's no doubt those teams are like the Carolina Panthers. We should be able to beat them mightily. We play both of these teams at home. It's been a few weeks, almost a month since we've been at Ford Field. And that place is going to be out ridiculous, right? We should beat these teams. We should confidently beat these teams. We just put up 41 points on the Chargers, right? There's no reason we can't do this. There's no reason. If we come out, if we have the number 1 seed. Now, let me just talk to you Lions fans real quick. I think that we're limiting ourselves, and I know why we're doing that. We're protecting ourselves from potential letdown. Well, I'm here to tell you, we've been let down for 50 years. It's time to take the training wheels off, right? Break the shackles. This team is a game away from the first seed in the NFC. They could be the best team in the NFL coming out of the month of November. A 9-2 record heading into the month of December with the best record in the NFL. All we need is to win the next 2 games, have a Philadelphia Eagles loss, and the Philadelphia Eagles, they got a gauntlet. They're going to lose a few of those games for sure. The Kansas City Chiefs, we beat them already. So no matter what happens, we're going to have the tiebreaker over them if we have the same record. We will be ahead of them no matter what. They can't, same record, Lions always will be ahead of them. There's no reason we should limit ourselves. There's a real opportunity. If the Lions have the first seed, let me ask you a question. Let's talk. If the Lions get the number 1 seed, we got a long way to go. Lions are 9 games in. They got 8 games to go, right? Out of those 8 games, we have the Bears twice, the Vikings twice, and the Packers once. So we have 5 division games. We went 5-1 in the division last year. We should have went 6-0. Let me ask you a question. If at the end of the season, the Lions have the number 1 seed in the NFC, are you still going to say that let's win a playoff game first? Nobody is going to say that. This team is beyond capable of winning a playoff game, winning the division, winning several on the road or at home, and winning the Super Bowl or getting to the Super Bowl. I'm not so convinced yet. If we play the Chiefs, that's going to be tough. But we'll be back at full strength. We'll have C.J. Gardner-Johnson back. James Houston will be back. We will have the same team that we went in to the Chiefs, to Arrowhead to play, right? The same team, but more. They'll be more evolved. They'll be better. It'll be the same personnel, but better. We'll have Donovan Peoples-Jones. And I forgot about him not even playing yesterday. He's going to open up a vertical threat. So I think that we need to get out of our own way. We need to shake the stigma of the past. Let the past go. Like, sometimes it's hard. It's hard to let it go. When it comes to trusting Brad Holmes, the stuff that we've been through, Matt Millen, those guys, right? We've been through some regimes, Quinn Trisha. We've been through those guys. So it's hard to trust in this brief time span that we've had the sample size of Brad Holmes. So he's still earning that, in my opinion. And he's doing a really, really good job. There's some things that he, pass rush and defensive line pass rush and some stuff that he needs to clean up. But outside of that, he's definitely earning our trust. But the thing about it is, even if we have the number 2 seed, are we just going to be like, well, let's win the division first. Let's win a playoff game before we start talking about Super Bowl. Why would we not talk about Super Bowl if we're the number 1 seed? If we're the number 1 seed, if we're the best team in the NFL at the end of the regular season, why would we not say we're capable of making a Super Bowl? Again, Albert Breer, and he probably was bored yesterday and just put this up. 10 weeks in, there are 3 teams left who have 2 or fewer losses. The teams that were in the Super Bowl last year and the Detroit Lions. And the Detroit Lions beat the team that inevitably won the Super Bowl. I know who they didn't have. That doesn't matter. This team is for real. We tighten up a few things on defense, and there's no reason why the Detroit Lions cannot go all the way. And I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not sniffing the Kool-Aid. I'm not putting out fluff. I'm being real. I'm the realest one on this platform talking Detroit Lions, and that's facts. And I'm going to keep it a buck. This team is capable of getting there. They really are. Now, I didn't think we had the personnel without I still think we need one more piece. We got to get somebody on that defensive line that can pressure the quarterback. Let me remind you that the difference in the Matthew Stafford Super Bowl was Aaron Donald. Joe Burrow has time to make that throw to Jamar Chase, and we're having a different conversation about the LA Rams. That's how important one piece is. Now, I know Aaron Donald is not just any piece, but the point I'm trying to make is sometimes it might come down to one piece, one play to decide a game. And if we need somebody to get to the quarterback, do we have that? Do we have that piece? I don't think we do yet. Hopefully Brad Holmes sees what we see and he makes a call to JPP, get somebody on his team. Anybody at this point, James Houston is most likely not going to be back until the middle of December at the earliest. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe that the Detroit Lions have do you believe in this team going to the Super Bowl? Because I do. 100%. There's no reason. We beat the team that won the Super Bowl. We're on pace for the number 1 seed, and there's no reason we can't go all the way. So I'd love to know your thoughts below. Subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.